Hey everybody, it's me, Ronnie Rucker. Tonight, we have a very, very, very special guest, and I'm sure you're gonna love this. This is Mzologist, a poet. If, for lack of a better word, I don't know if that is what you call yourself. But we'll get into it. Mzologist, how are you doing? Thanks for being on the
I'm
show.
doing fine, thank you.
Are you? Do you consider yourself a poet, or do you have a different title that you refer to yourself as?
Well, I mean, because I do poetry, and most people tend to consider you a poet, whether you do spoken word, I love poetry, prose. It's just not another name for it. So I would say I'm just a writer of erotic pieces or proses. But for a lack of a better word, I call my pieces erotic porno poetry, and I call myself an erotic porno poetress. And the reason for that is because I don't know if other people do it the way I do, because I don't really read other people's stuff much, because I don't like to take away from my own creativity. But I use a lot of words that most people don't really use in an erotic piece. They tend to use more sensual words. I tend to go straight to the gut. And so I consider it more of a porno as opposed to a straight erotic piece. But because it creates eroticy, I just call it erotic porno poetry.
Is okay. Look, right.
Oh yes. Oh yes. His saliva made tracks up my legs as he gave me head, much like the roses he spread from the stairs to the bed just before he dived deep in between my thighs, causing my body to shiver and tremble. Like an earthquake, my body shakes on the Richter scale. Is it a 10 or a 12 or maybe it's above? Could it be that I have gone off the Richter scale of love? He nibbles and dribbles, he nudges and he tugs. My lips and my clips oh, but quiver at his touch. What sweet sensation! Oh, such devastation as he takes me to great heights. The feeling he gives me inside as he lays gently between my thighs. Oh yes, just surfing and slurping. The juices I secrete as my see, he eats with such enjoyment. He performs with no terms of endurance. He labors along with every stroke of his tongue, giving such pleasure and gratification. It feels like being in a train station, watching the train bob and weave on the track as it backs up and leaves, going around and coming back, tongue licking so good, making you want to have a heart attack. Oh yeah, or better yet, have him lift me up with his jack as he slides into me. No rubbers, no glue, just his dick and my glue. Oh yeah. You better stop, oh boy, I'll sue.
I do this radio show, TV show. I like radio. You do porno poetry. Are
Mhm.
you like super in? Are you a super sexual person? Like everything is like that, or is this just what you do on the side? Like when you're walking around, are you thinking, like see things and you go, "Wow, that's fucking that dude is hot," or
Yes,
"That chick's hot.
yes,
I want to do
yes.
stuff with her."
And I tell you what, my girlfriend is here with me and
Mm-hmm.
she is just dying, okay? And when you ask that question, I can hear her in the other room just laughing.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why, because we could be eating a salad
Back.
and I'm,
Okay, so answer that question again. I think when you're eating a salad, we kind of lost you there. When you're eating a salad, what happens?
I think sex. I mean, I can think of like, what type of salad dressing, for instance. I've come up with creamy ranch and I'm like, cummy ranch or, and so we go into different aspects of, and she'll be like, can you stop it? Because I'm always thinking sex.
Uh huh. Oh, okay. So everything you see sex in everything.
Yes.
What do you see
Because
right?
I see sex,
What are you seeing right now? This is good. I'm a big ego tripper. What do you see right now?
when I look at you,
Yeah. Do you see a little bit of sex?
yes, I see a hunk with a whole lot of hair I can run my fingers through and beards I can just sit there and play. I could plait it, you know what I'm saying?
Uh
And
huh.
I could actually never mind what I could see it doing, but
Uh huh.
it's kind of like that hairy pie concept.
Oh, Harry Pie concept is that? You see Harry Pie? Oh, I'm never gonna live that one down. Harry Pie, everybody. Okay, nice. Excuse me. You know what people really want to know?
Hmm.
is where are you from? First of all, people want to know where you're at because they're gonna probably want to find you.
Originally, I was born in Jamaica. I was born in Jamaica, and I left Jamaica as a young girl and came to the U.S. And then I migrated to Florida, and I lived in Florida for a couple of years, and then I joined the military, and I toured around the world quite a bit, and then I came back here to Florida to settle down, and then I'm moving back to Jamaica again. So right now I'm in between Florida and Jamaica, Miami.
What did you do? What did you do in the military, and what branch?
I Army. I started out as an enlisted, then went on as an E7 to officer candidate school, and ended up back in this enlisted because yes,
Yeah.
it's a long story. Cut
No,
short.
yeah, let's not get into that. Probably. When did you realize that you wanted to write? And being in the army was did that like? Could you talk about this kind of stuff in the army? Could you be like, oh yeah, I write this, or is this all after the army?
No, I always wrote poetry as a kid because I was raised like an only child, even though I'm not an only child. I'm the youngest of three. So I was raised by myself, and so I always wrote a lot. But I wrote situational poetry, things I see around me, beautiful things, nice things, that kind of stuff. And when I joined the military, I was still writing. In college, I wrote. And what triggered me was in the Gulf War, I wrote a lot of pieces because they had, competition for the soldiers to write pieces for the Library of Congress, and I wrote a lot of pieces relating to the veterans. And so I have a whole collection of that. I stopped writing after a while, and then, after I got out of the military, about 2.5 years ago, I'd say November 2008 to be exact, I got invited to a poetry spot, and it was supposed to be erotic poetry. And I got there, and it was more like neurotic poetry. Nothing was erotic, nothing stimulated me. And I'm like, why am I at a spoken word poetry spot trying to listen to erotic poetry? And so I went home and I'm like, you know what, I could do better than this. And I just started writing a couple of pieces and it just went on from there.
Are there any? Before we get into this next question, I want to know this. I went to a spoken word thing the other night. To matter of fact, I knew I was going to be talking to you. I thought, let me just get a vibe for what I might be expecting. So I thought, what do I do to do that? I'd go to this spoken word thing. I guess it's the closest thing I could get to, probably. I went to this thing, and the one thing what that I felt that I didn't know, like I didn't expect, was I was in the parking lot, like during like an intermission kind of thing, like hanging out, talking to people, and there was a group of cats that were gonna be doing their spoken word thing, and they were in the parking lot, like doing, like looking at the wall, like
Uh,
doing their piece, yeah, like I guess practicing or rehearsing, and that really
yeah.
threw me off because you go to a some live art thing, the dude isn't practicing. Is that some? I totally it caught me off guard. I didn't think that occurs at these things. Like I thought people went there prepared, ready to do it. Or if you go to a stand-up comedian kind of thing, a stand-up thing, you don't see the guys, in the back room like doing their thing. They keep that under wraps, like at home. Do you do that, or do
No, no,
you have it all
no,
up in your head?
no. I don't have it all in my head. I've got too many pieces to have it in my head. But if I have to do a show, I select, say I know I'm doing two pieces. I'll select those two pieces in about 2 or 3 days before I actually appear on the show. Then I would study it over and over. I don't really read. I listen to myself because mine are pre-recorded. So I listen to myself while I'm driving in the car and I'll try to mimic what I did before and I'll try to lock my voice in so that when I get there, it's unlocked and it's on point. There are some places I go, I do it just like I did it with you. There are other places I go, I actually play the music because the crowd needs intensity and the music adds that momentum with the bass line and all of that. So then when I'm on it, I get off the stage and most people will think that I actually perform without my voice, but my voice is in the music, but I'm so locked that they can't tell the difference.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I really caught me off guard when I went and saw that. When I saw that, I was like, "Whoa, this is too much for me. Like, this is just the picture that was painted wasn't what I had." Are there any poets out there that influence you? I know you said that you don't listen to other poets, but are there poets out there that you think are good and that
There's a lot of poets that are excellent. I mean, I'm a big fan of Jill Scott. I mean, I know she started out kind of like spoken word. I do like what's her name? The one I can't even think of her name right now. Oh my God, uh, Erica Badu. She started out kind of like poetry. I do like the one that's married to Bob Marley, our son. What's the name? Oh my God, my brain is like totally fried. But it's quite a few poets that I really actually like their pieces. And I mean, I'm talking about modern day poets and older poets too. So it's just, I don't really get into the spoken word arena. I'll go and watch a spoken word show and I listen to the poets, but I don't extract anything from them because I don't want to adapt their style because I don't really have a spoken word style. And so if you listen it enough, it kind of gets into you and then you want to actually do your poetry the way they do their poetry. So I listen to it and I enjoy it and I admire it. And there are very good artists out there. Sometimes I'll watch Def Comedy Jam just to see, like how they react and how they interact with the crowd and stuff. But I don't really, have a specific favorite, so to speak.
Is there any type of poetry? I know I mean, obviously there's different types of poetry. Is there any type of poetry that you don't like?
No, no, I can't think of any poetry that I don't like because I think poetry is an expression of your inner emotions. And when a person is saying how they feel, like for instance on Twitter, people come and they'll tweet their random thoughts, and I enjoy sitting there. Many nights I'm on my timeline, and my followers won't know it. I'll retweet a random thought that I really really love, but I like to watch the random thoughts, and I read pretty much everybody on my timeline their random thoughts because I think it's interesting the things that they think or what's going through their brain at the time. And it gives me idea, not for my poetry, but thought process is like, wow, I didn't even think of that. Wow, that's an interesting concept. Wow, how could she come up with that? How could he put it that way? You know what I'm saying? Because it's your inner expression and how you see things from a philosophical viewpoint as opposed to a psychological viewpoint. And I enjoy philosophy.
Very cool. Do you want to get into some of these questions that I got from Twitter?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm interested to see what they want me to say.
There's a few of them. Let's just get right into them. Some of these I get, like when I put this out, there's a few that I get a lot, and I like these questions, so when I ask these a lot.
Okay.
Unicorns, are they overrated?
No. No. To me, the unicorn is representative of your pineal gland, which is your third eye. And every time I see a unicorn with that horn, that's what I think of is my third eye. You get in tune and get as one with the spirit. So no, I don't think unicorns are overrated at all.
Toe rings, yes or no?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Toe rings, yes or
Toe
no?
rings. Toe rings are kind of sexy. I don't really wear one and I've never really worn one. And I think it's because I was in the military and couldn't really get into my boots with it. But I think toe rings are kind of sexy. I kind of like them,
What's your
especially if you're into foot fetish. I'm not, but
yeah.
for those who are, toe rings are really sexy.
Off the topic, do you have any poetry about feet?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But I don't have one in my brain right now that I want to repeat.
Is it on the CD though?
No, it's not in these 3 CDs. It's coming on another upcoming
Okay,
CD.
we'll be looking for that one. Do you have a favorite alcoholic beverage?
I'm not a drinker, but I collect liquor, which is kind of strange. I have a massive bar. I mean, I've collected $1,500 bottle of liquor just because Cristal. Yes, I bought a $1,500 bottle of Cristal just so I could put it on my bar because I love glass. I love anything unique, but I'm not a drinker. But I
Being
don't have a favorite one, but I love all the collections.
being from Jamaica, do you smoke pot?
Never tried it, and many people have asked me that, but I've never tried it because I have a very low tolerance for cigarette smoke, marijuana, stuff like that. But I have a lot of friends who do, and it doesn't bother me that they do.
Then my next question is not going to apply, so we'll try to figure out how to make this apply. When was the last time you fell down drunk? You don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't do any of that stuff, so you don't fall down.
I've fallen down drunk from my own inner emotions because I think you can be high without smoking weed or drinking, and I think you can be drunk just from your own inner self. I've done that.
When was the last time you did that then?
Hmm. I want to say Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday
Nice.
when I went out with my daughter. Yeah,
I fell
I
down
was all
yesterday.
my own.
uh, if you were given if you were told, look, this is how it's going to be, you're going to either have to choose to be bald or have a mustache, which of the two, if faced with that situation where you had to pick one, which one would it be?
Definitely bald.
Bald. Okay.
I think bald head is really sexy, and you don't want to know why, but bald head to me is sexy. Mustache is kind of ticklish.
Ticklish. Okay. What's the weirdest thing about you?
Hmm. The weirdest thing about me, I'm weird in a lot of ways. But if I had to pick one specific weird thing about me, I'm going to say I can make humor out of anything.
Yeah.
I mean, everything to me is humorous when I want it to be. So, in that context, I'll say I'm weird.
And the last one from the Twitter questions, and I have a feeling people are going to know what the answer is. What excites you?
Woo! Sex. Sex
Yeah.
and more sex, yes. I'm not a freak. I'm a lady in the street, but I'm definitely a freak in the sheets.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Those are the Twitter questions. Let's get into a few more questions
Pole
from
to
me.
hole with his 10-inch pole. Testing my oil with his dipstick. That big, fat, juicy cock he calls his dick. Wanting to see if my transmission fluid was thick. He took a ride on my insides just so he could test it. Locomotive, car, or tram. It didn't matter when he started to ram, slam, and jam that big fat man. His slab of hammer that came aglow when it hit my hole, sending such thrills straight through his pole. Oh, yes. Fire ignite and burn from his sperm. So fucking good. That's what my pussy yearn to fucking be fucked. Lizard lap, back shots and all of that. Wheelbarrow, helicopter, moves that will send you to the fucking doctor. Oh yes. As we lay on the bed and in the ceiling stare, he cradled my head and to me he said, girl, I want to park my car in your garage. I want to use my dipstick, test your oil, see if it's thick or thick. I want to test out your carburetor, hook you up to my generator, my electronic computer, and analyze your alternator, even test your radiator. He said, girl, I want to change your brake shoe just by fucking you. Cut down your rotor, restoring your motor, turning off your engine light. I fuck you in the middle of the night. Let me be your repairman, your mechanic, your one and only technician.
You just said that you're a freak in the
Yes,
sheets, not on the streets.
not on the street now.
Do you, and you do porno poetry.
Mm-hmm.
What do you watch porno? Are you
Yes, I watch. I have a decent amount of porno collection. Yes,
do you do like the online porno or do you buy discs?
I buy. I'm an old-fashioned person, so I've bought the disc and view them at home. But lately, I have gone online and viewed quite a few of the sites just to get a feel for what people are putting up on the
What
online porno site.
what's your favorite kind of porno?
Funny enough, I like the menage a trois.
So
I like when it's a threesome.
is it
Two girl and a guy or two guy and a girl kind of. I prefer the two girl and a guy concept really.
when it,
My favorite.
when it's two guys and a girl?
Hmm.
Is it a turn on for you when the two guys start going at it too?
No, I'm a female.
Okay.
No, well, you know what? I've never really paid attention to the two guys going on it, and I've never paid attention to that. I've mostly watched the ones where it's the two guys going at the girl at the same time,
Okay. So you
and
like
it's kind of a little touch and go for me there, especially if they're forceful.
yeah.
Because women are more sensual and men are more sexual. So they tend to be more beastly towards the female when it's two guys and a girl, as opposed to two girls and a guy. They're more sensual and more seductive.
I
So I
was
prefer two girls and a guy.
you this might be a good question. I was asked a question once. I answer questions of viewers, and some when I get to them, I put them on my show. I answer them. I was asked once if I thought it was natural for women,
Hmm.
to like to be dominated. Do you think that that's natural?
No, no, it's not natural. Women allow themselves to be dominated because they think that's what the man wants. But in actuality, the woman wants to be equal in the relationship. To me, in the bed, they want in the bedroom, they want to have an equal say in the sexual activity. But there are times a woman don't mind being dominated as far as role play goes. But to be dominated consistently in the bedroom, no, I think it's a turn off for the majority of females.
What do you think of rape fantasy?
I don't like the idea of rape fantasy. I mean, it's one thing to fantasize it, it's another thing to carry it out. And most times, fantasies usually lead to the person trying to live it. And so, to me, it's a dangerous area. Rape fantasies, if it's between yourself and your partner, like I've raped my fiance. I've raped him on many occasions, but I would never go out and rape another man unless, of course, he gives a consent to that. Now, I don't have a problem raping, but I would have to get consent from the person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's kind of like
It's
two,
fantasy.
yeah, yeah. But I don't want to get the idea in my head to where I'm actually doing it to someone who is saying no.
Yeah, like some guy walking down the street. Um,
Yeah.
if you had, if you were in that situation, most of the times there's like a safe word.
Yeah.
What would be your safe word in that situation?
If I was in a situation where a guy wanted to rape me without my permission.
Yeah, or no, well, no, with your permission, of course. But the
Oh,
fantasy would be like it. Say if it gets a little too wild for you, there's
hmm.
sometimes no doesn't mean no in those like pretty
No,
tense situations. So you pick a word that means no.
safe word is stop. No, my safe word is stop.
Stop.
Yeah, just
Oh,
stop.
okay. So if
No,
you
it's
say
the safe
stop,
word of the stop and the hands in the air. That kind of, that attitude from that female gives you like you reach your limit.
right.
The, bang.
The brakes. You pump the brakes, yeah.
Yeah, the brake. Yeah, the handbrake.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome stuff. This is going to be great. You put all your poetry on CD, correct?
Yes, I do.
Is there a reason why you're not thinking about going online with these things? Like are you? Are you thinking about going on iTunes with this?
Yes, I am. In actuality, I was on CD Baby but for a moment, and I pulled it down because I was having problem with my website, and I was actually trying to tie the two websites, the CD Baby website, together with my personal website, and I kept having website issues. Now the website is getting somewhere, but it's still not where it needs to be. It's just they're uploading stuff, so when people click in, they don't see, a GoDaddy page full of ads. They actually see a page, but it's not completely together yet. So once that is done, then I'm going to be back on iTunes, CD Baby, Sonic, and a couple other sites. They'll be able to access my CDs.
So where is it that people should go to contact you now or find you now and be ready for you to have it available for them?
Well, they can click on Mzologist.com just to see what the site is going to look like for right now. They won't find a lot of information about me there, not yet. But if they contact me on Twitter at Mzologist.com, well, Twitter Mzologist, Mzologist, which is all caps, or they can try to Google me under Mzologist, and they'll find me and they can just send me a direct message or send me a mention to my Twitter, and I'll contact them and get it out to them that way.
So
For
it
now.
it is possible for people to get these CDs before
Oh
they're
yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah.
So I'll put all your information on our blog and throughout the show here, and of course let everybody know how to get that. Um, before we get in, do you want to play the 20 words game with
Yeah,
us? Okay,
we can do that.
what we do is we do this with everybody, everybody that we talk to, and what we do is at the end of the year we're going to do a little collage thing where we're going to take 20 of the people that we did it and take one word from each one. So how this works is I give the same words to everybody. So yeah, I'm going to give you a word. You're going to give me the first word that comes to mind. Okay?
Okay.
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 So you ready?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. The first word is beats.
Eat.
The next word is slippers.
Flippers.
And the next word is toes.
Ooh, hose.
And the next word is beer.
Near.
The next word is maze.
Haze.
And the next word is inconsiderate.
Hmm. No, that's a toughie. Inconsiderate. Oh my God. Under. I don't know.
The next word is dull.
Boring.
Next word is sushi.
Fish.
Next word is clearance.
Fail.
Next word is soup.
Drinking.
The next word is dirty.
Nasty.
Next word is whisper.
Softly.
Next word is missed call.
Block.
The next word is 11.
12.
Next word is iPod.
I was gonna say a pad.
Yeah, that's cool. A
Like
pad.
a pad.
Next word is
Okay, so
nose.
mine is dirty.
Dirty. Next word is nose.
Hose.
Next
Why
word.
does that word keep popping in my head?
I know you like it. Next word is one way. You got to think for hose, yeah?
Yeah, I do. I do. I gotta think for hose. I actually like hose, believe it or
Yeah.
not.
What's
Without them, the world wouldn't be what it is.
yeah? Okay, gotta love a hose. Next word is one way.
Wrong trick.
Next word is education.
Smart.
Next word is ceramics.
I'm thinking rap.
And the last word, Ronnie Rucker. Yours truly.
I'm thinking teddy bear.
Nice. There you have it. That's
Yeah.
20 words with Mzologist. Thank you very much for playing the game with us. I look forward to
You
adding
have
that
to.
thing. Okay, so before we let you go,
Okay.
is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I'm just gonna say I really thank you for having me on your show, and we had a little itch in some glitches, but we made it, and I'm happy that that we did. I
Right.
enjoyed talking to you.
Cool. Do you want to do a bumper for us? Like you're watching Beneath Everything. I'm Mixologist.
Of course.
Okay, so the show's called Beneath Everything with Ronnie Rucker. You can say whatever you want. Feel free.
Yes. You're watching Beneath Everything Radio with Ronnie Rucker. I'm Mixologist. Thank you for listening to this.
Nice, nice, awesome. Okay,
So
so
you like my bumper?
yeah, it's
I
perfect.
could show you my other bumper.
Do you want to show your other bumper? If look,
Ronnie, I didn't think you would go there with me. I
no,
thought you would
no,
ignore me.
girl. This is internet TV and midnight TV here in Hawaii, so everything goes. If you want to show your bumper, I will show the world your bumper. That's up to you. That's totally
I'm gonna save it for the next interview.
okay.
You know what?
Awesome. We'll
'Cause
have you on again. We'll talk about your bumper. Um, I could talk about bumpers for hours. By the way, that's my thing. Okay, now that we've got all that out of the way, I'd love to talk about the situation that you had with your manager, because everybody that has listened to my show for a while knows that I've had my share of issues with agents and managers. Would you like to discuss what happened?
Ronnie, I would discuss it, and I don't have a problem, except that I'm not quite sure what happened. All I know is you started following me, and I was like, wow, this guy has that many followers and he's following me. I clicked into your radio. I listened to a couple of your show and I enjoyed them immensely. So I DM my manager and I said, hey, contact this guy and see if he'll do a radio interview with me. She said, I thought you didn't want to do interviews, not yet. I said, no, but it's something about this guy I happen to like. But I was going to Jamaica to have my twins. And so they started the contact with you, but I had to go to Jamaica. I was there for 6 months. I came back and I said, hey, let's get the ball rolling again. And they contacted you. We were set up for last Monday and we talked on Saturday in a conference call, myself, her, and the brand manager. And the next thing I know, supposed to call me back. She didn't. She called me back on Sunday. She didn't. And then late Sunday night around 12, I got a call and it's like, hey, are you still watching TV? And I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, I called the wrong person. And to me, that was like, okay, we're supposed to be doing business here. It's 12 o'clock midnight. I still have no clue how to do Skype, what Ronnie's going to ask me, what is going down. I don't know what to do. And here is Monday, only about 12 hours away. And so I hung up my phone because it's like she called the wrong person. After about 2:15 or so, she called me back and she's like, hey, mixologist, I'm going to call you in the morning, at 9 o'clock. And I'm like, whoa, 9 o'clock, I'm going to be in the gym. You're not going to get me. Well, I'm calling to talk to you about the show. And I'm like, do I detect a hint of attitude? I don't have attitude. I said, well, look, I already got a daughter. I don't need anybody talking to me like they're my mom, and no, don't give me your attitude. I take enough attitude from my own. I don't need it. Tell you what, it's after 2. Why don't you just call me whenever? And it was like, you know what, whatever. And she hung up the phone and I didn't hear anything all day. And I went through Monday, Tuesday, still nothing. And I didn't call because I didn't feel like I needed to make that call. I thought if you're going to do your job, you're going to do your job. Next thing I know, I get on Twitter and there's a DM from you on my mention, which passed my timeline. It was enough to make me want to go through the roof. But you know what? I'm an adult. I'm a professional. I'm not going to do what they did to me to them, and I'm not going to be rude and nasty because that's not my style. So I just totally ignored it. I contacted you, I explained it to you, and I just said, hey, I learned from my timeline that I have ex managers who, by the way, are not managers. One was a PR person, the other one was a branding person. This was an opportunity I was trying to give to them to allow them to come into my world and become a part of me and grow with me as I grow. I'm not in the begging mode. I'm not trying to ask. I have a creative talent. I'm doing what I need to do to get me where I need to go. I'm not trying to be a star, quote unquote. I'm not trying to be famous. Stars are in the sky. And the last time I checked, they fall to the earth as meteorites. So I'm not trying to be one of those. I'm just trying to get my creativity out to the rest of the world because I think people want to hear what I have to say about sex. And that's all I'm trying to do. So no, I didn't reciprocate. And to this day, I have not reciprocated to any of what they have done or said. I'm not trying to be nasty. And they know who they are. So I won't even call names because I'm sure once they see this, then they will know themselves. So I don't have to identify them.
Well, I know you don't want to be nasty, but I hate managers and I hate agents, so I'm going to say fuck you managers and fuck you agents. You can all go to fucking hell, and nobody needs you. You're a waste of time, and if I can, you really should think about another line of profession. If you know, fuck you. That's what I'll say to the managers
And you know
and
what?
agents.
And you have a point on that because you know what? We get them because we want to eliminate some of the stress of our everyday activities. And we say, hey, these are your job. You handle this and let me do what I do best. As an artist, you want to focus on your artistry. You're in the radio station. You don't want to focus on having to answer the phone while you're on the radio if it's not a phone call that is supposed to be on your radio show. You don't want to focus and having to get the copy paper for the copy machine because it ran out when you're on your radio show. So you hire assistants to do that for you. And if they can't fall into line with what they need to do, know their duties and get it done, then what do you need them for? And you shouldn't have to fight with them because you are the creative force. And that's what you are, Ronnie. You are a creative force. Who needs the rest?
Damn right. Damn right. Damn right. You could say that 1,000 times. Mark, you're fired.
Karen, you're fired.
I know. See, it's that easy. You're fired. You're
You know
fired.
what my
You're
girlfriend
fired.
said? She
What?
said I can't fire her because I don't pay her.
Oh, yeah. That's what Mark said. He gave me a look. When you start paying me, you can fire me. But until then,
That's what she said.
yeah.
You can't fire me because you don't pay me. And then she says, I love you, Ronnie, because she really does.
Oh,
She thinks you're a big teddy bear too.
oh, really?
Yeah. You're sexy.
Oh, has she seen my breasts?
Oh no, but if she did,
Yeah.
trust me, she'd go crazy for
She'd
that.
go crazy for my breasts.
Yes,
Okay.
she's a breast person, yes.
Be sure
I
to
like she
be
likes breast.
okay. Be sure to tune into this show because most of the time, if you watch the live show, like actually watch the video show, you will probably see my breasts. And so she's a big manly breast kind of chick. She's gonna enjoy it.
Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to those breasts. Can I
Awesome.
get a suck?
Huh? You want to see? Do you want to see the breasts? Oh,
Yeah, I'm a breastfed baby, you know.
oh.
So I love titties. I really. Oh my God.
See, there you go.
Mm.
Oh, it's hot in here. It's hot in here. Okay, what do you see now?
I'm melting, okay?
What do you see now that you saw the titties?
I
No.
see now that I saw the titties. You don't want to know what's on my mind, okay?
No, the world wants to know what is on your mind, Mzologist. What is on your mind?
What is on my mind? Well, you know what? I'm thinking how I could just take you and shape and mold you to what I want you to be.
Nice. I
You know, it's
appreciate
kind of like like the Pillsbury Doughboy. You just take him and mold him,
Mhm.
and then you stick him in the belly, and then the titties pop out, kind of a thing, and you just kind of frizzle it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it all. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to say to the world before I let you go, though?
World, look out for me. I'm coming.
Nice.
You know, I'm not trying to be a star. I just want to get in your car, on your radio, on your CDs, on your DVDs, in your living room. But most importantly, I want to be in your bedroom. Yes, I really do. I want to be in your bedroom. I want you to get a piece of me while you're in between the sheets. Yes.
Awesome.
I want you to feel all the eroticy that's coming from me. Yes.
Girl, you're oozing it. You're oozing it right now. You're oozing eroticism all over the internet right now. And if you're out there watching this right now, you need to go. to
So you know what? You want to hear
mixologist.com.
my signature moan? Do you want to hear my signature moan?
Oh, would you please?
Yes.
I'd love to hear some more.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Oh, baby. Oh, God, yes. Put it there. Put it here. Oh, yes, baby. Oh. Did you like that?
Oh, loved it. That's that right
No,
there. That right
creaming.
there.
Can you believe that?
Say that again.
I think I'm creaming between my own thighs.
That right there is unbelievable
You.
TV. That right there is going to be that's gonna win us an award on TV for sure. I know
You
it.
want to know? I was going to show you how I can place my head between my legs and give myself a head job. But I think I want to save it for the next interview.
Okay, wait, what? No. Hold on a second. You can't say something like you can give yourself head. You can't say that. You cannot say that and then tease that. You can't tease that.
Listen, Ronnie, listen. I placed my head between my legs and gave myself a head job. I placed my head between my legs and gave myself a head job. I placed my head between my legs and self-ate my pussy, giving me head. Oh, yes. I placed my head between my legs and made myself come just by licking myself with my own tongue. Oh, yes. But how I did it. I'm going to save it for the next interview. Then I'm really going to show it to you.
Okay, well then we're going to have to book this soon. Because we can do like a week of shows with you here.
Body back together. Then I can really put my head between my legs again.
Nice. All right, mixologist. I have another interview to still do this afternoon, so we're gonna have to cut this off. But as much as I would like to keep going, because this has been amazing, I'm gonna have to cut short here.
No problem. Enjoy.
Okay, wait. You can't just start sticking your finger in your mouth and say, "Okay, no problem."
You know what? I thought we were cutting off. That's why.
Oh, you're getting ready to do whatever you're gonna do after.
Yeah, I was getting ready to just,
Yeah. I think I know exactly what you're going to do, and everybody out there knows exactly what you're going to.
The finger of choice.
Is the index finger?
Middle.
Middle finger.
I've tried the index, but the middle is my favorite.
Nice.
It knows crease and crevice indeed. Yes. It's my finger of choice. My favorite fiddle is the middle. Yes. But you know what, Ronnie? Let's cut this off.
It's getting a little hot over here right now.
You know what? I tell you what. I'm gonna let you see my eyes just for a moment, so you can see the cat in me.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh. Can you see it?
Yeah, oh yeah. Everybody can. Nice. Okay, let's let this go because now that you've taken off the glasses, I'm afraid you're going to take off your top soon, and you're going to start taking stuff off. Okay. Next time. Okay, so next time we're going to have to do another one because I think you have a lot to share with.
And when you did you get the CDs, by the way?
No.
You know, I sent them to you. I sent them to you express. The post office ripped me off. They charged me so much. They said you'd have them by Saturday.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. And here in Hawaii, it's hit and miss because they have to fly it over. And there's this whole, it's hit or miss. I figured it wouldn't be here. But when I do get it, I will let you know. And I'll do an album review. I'll review it as well. Let me let you go because I really have to do this other one.